Okay, so let's look at an example of the summary question. Let's look at an example of the summary question where all the words appear in the box. Okay, where all the words appear in a box. And then we've seen an example of when the words don't appear in the box. So now let's look at an example of when the words do appear in the box. Okay, so let's have a look at it. This is from, I believe this is from the Cambridge book number 7 or 8. I think it's number 7. But I like some of the reading passages in those books in 7 and 8. Number 9's okay too, but I like 7, 8, and I like the new one 10, and I like the 2014 8 practice test. Those are all pretty good. I like to use those because they give you a good variety of the different questions that you might have to do. So let's take a look at it. All right. So first we have a multiple choice question, which we would do because it goes in order. Then we have a complete the sentence question, a fill the blank question, which we need to do fill in the blank question because it goes in order. And then we have our summary question. All right, so if we were doing this for the real exam, we would do our multiple choice question, we would do our fill the blank question, then we would do our summary question. And it should be a little bit easier. Now, one thing that might make it easier for you, one thing that I recommend that might be helpful to you, and I didn't say this when I gave you the explanation, but maybe I should when I gave you the strategy lesson. But one thing that might be helpful is even though you're not going to do the summary question first, go ahead and look at the keywords in the summary question: electrical charges, ionization, lasers, laser beams, controlling electrical charges. I would circle those keywords and then go and do my multiple choice and fill the blank question. And that way, when I'm doing my multiple choice and my fill the blank question, I can keep an ear out, not ear out. I can keep my eyes open for those keywords to appear, and then maybe I'll know a little bit faster. Where the information for the summary question is coming from. And also maybe I'll know also if this is a summary question where the information comes from multiple sentences or if it's a summary question where the information comes from one specific sentence. Okay? All right, so we have to, let's just keep that in mind when we're talking about it. All right, so for this one, now what's going to make it easy to find, like for number 7, like I said, we want to look and see which we have to do number 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. I think the information for number 7 might be easy to find because it has the word ionization. There's not going to be a synonym for the word ionization. All right, and laser and ionization, not going to be a problem. Number 8, we're going to talking about a laser and controlling electrical charges, right? And that's for number 8. That's for number 8, and number 9, which is less dangerous than using blank. All right. So let's go ahead and look and first see if we can find the word ionization. And what you have to do is you have to read the sentence where you see ionization, and then you can look and see which word in the box you would pick. All right. That's the way it works. That's the way it works in terms of reading comprehension. That's the when you have words in a box. Go read the sentence and then pick the word in the box that fits from what you just read. So let's go try and find ionization first. And what I'm doing, I don't mean to have this dead tape here, but what we're doing is we're scanning and looking for the word oh, there it is right there. See it? Ionization. Okay. So there's ionization right there. Okay, there's ionization. And so that gives me a good idea of where we should be starting from. All right, so let's take a look at it and see if we can start filling in some of these blanks. Now, another thing to be aware of also when it comes to a fill the blank question is sometimes what they'll do is they'll take information from two sentences and then in a summary combine it into one sentence. Okay? So be aware of that. Sometimes you have to read two sentences to get the information because that's something that they love to do. Because that's what summarizing is. That's what summarizing is when you really think about it, right? That's what it is. Summarizing is, taking information from multiple sentences, writing compound and complex sentences, and using adjective clauses, and creating a really good summary that really gives you a good idea of what the passage is about. So, what's key for number 7 is the word remove, because it says removing electrons from, right? So we're looking at removing electrons from. Now, I'm always going to, for a summary question, just be aware that it could be a combination of two sentences. So here's ionization. Let's just start at the beginning and look at our topic sentence. I'm right here in this paragraph that starts with the words, the idea. The idea began some 20 years ago when high-powered lasers were revealing their ability to extract electrons out of atoms and create ions. All right, so there's our answer right there is atoms. All right, because extract means remove. Extract electrons out of atoms and create ions. If a laser could generate a line of ionization in the air all the way up to the storm cloud. So yeah, that first one is a combination of these first two sentences. The answer comes from the first sentence, and the other language that makes up the sentence comes from the second sentence. So they took information from both of these sentences and combined it together to create one sentence. But I know my answer is atoms because of the word extract. Extract means remove. Extract means remove. And so we know the answer for number 7 is we are removing electrons from atoms. So on our answer sheet, we will put B as the answer. We will put the letter B as in boy. Okay, and then for our next one, we're looking at the laser is then directed at. Right? Directed is like pointed towards. That's what the word directed means. The laser is then directed at in order to control electrical charges. So what is the laser directed at? All right. Well, here it is right here. To stop the laser itself being struck, it would not be pointed straight at the clouds. Let's see. To control electrical charges. Okay. Right, so if a laser could generate a line, oh, here it is right here. A line, that means direction. A line of ionization in the air all the way up to a storm cloud. So our correct answer for this one would be C, okay, storm cloud, because a line is the same as saying directed at. All right, that's what that means. So the answer for number 8, would be C, storm clouds. Directed at, point a line towards, show a line towards, right? So we had our first answer, atoms, come from the first sentence. We had our next answer, storm clouds, come from the second sentence. And then for number 9, it's a method that's less dangerous than using. Less dangerous than using. So we have to find language. We have to find language that means less dangerous than. Okay, that's what we're looking, less dangerous than. Well, you know, when I look at this paragraph, I don't see anything that's talking about it being less dangerous than. I don't see any information in this paragraph that talks about dangerous or less dangerous. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So what that means is that when we look at this question, wow, what they've done here is number 8 comes from that sentence, that second sentence of the paragraph. But the next part of the sentence, a method which is less dangerous than using, that comes from a whole different paragraph. Wow. So they took information from one paragraph and took information from another paragraph and combined that into one sentence. Wow, that's tricky. That is really, really tricky. That's really, really tricky. Wow. We have to find a paragraph that talks about it being less dangerous than. Okay. I decided to look under this paragraph that says bad behavior because if it's talking about about bad behavior, that's usually talking about something negative, and I'm looking for an object that's less dangerous than a laser. All right, less dangerous. So. You know, that heading of bad behavior let me know that this is talking about what is going to be less dangerous as whatever they're talking about in these paragraphs under bad behavior is the dangerous thing. And it looks like in these 2 paragraphs, but while the rockets are fine for research, the rockets anyway, who would want to fire streams of rockets in a populated area? So it seems like the bad thing they're talking about is rockets. So the lasers are less dangerous than rockets. So the answer for number 9 is rockets. Wow, that is really cruel what the IELTS people are doing there. But that's what I told you. I told you that it's possible that information can come from different paragraphs. And they took information from 2 different parts and combined it together. So that means the answer for number 9 would be G. All right, number 10, as a protection for the lasers, the beams are aimed firstly at. All right, what are the beams first aimed at? What are the beams first aimed at? All right, our answer is mirror. All right, directed at, aimed at. To stop the laser, I'm starting with the sentence before so you can see that this is the answer. To stop the laser itself being struck, it would not be pointed straight at the clouds. Instead, it would be directed at a mirror and from there into the sky. So first it's going to be directed at a mirror and from there into the sky. All right, so the answer directed at is the synonym language here. Directed at for aim, firstly aimed. Aimed firstly at, directed at. Aimed firstly at, directed at a mirror. So the answer for number 10 would be mirror, which is D. Wow. So our correct answers are B, C, G, D. B, C, G, D. B, C, G, D. Okay? All right, so thanks a lot, and I hope these examples of the summary question were helpful for you. All right? I'll talk to you soon.